Shalom King.
Shalom, shalom.
Hey, we getting everything situated. Apiyak should be joining us
God,
shortly here. Just a quick sound check in the chat. Akim, throw up a one real quick if the audio is all good. Let me go on camera here. Shalom. We got Officer Yaziar, Officer Quadak, LBC. There we go. There we go. Shalom Akwath and Akyam. Good to see y'all in here. Khan. All right, let me go ahead and put the title up. Today's topic, we going back to another gem from the Couch Captivity Created. Actually, Couch Captivity Created episode number 40. You can find a link in the description at the bottom, down there, right? Click on the more or the see more or whatever it is, and you're going to see a link to the Couch Captivity Created episode number 40. The topic being rule thy flesh, right? And today, Officer Quadak gonna bring out some points. I'm gonna follow along with him, pull precepts, you know what I'm saying, and add a little here and there, and then we're gonna get some feedback from the chat. So, without further ado, Quadak, you want to kind of intro it, what you going over, so on and so forth.
God. I highlighted a couple points from there's a lot of good points in the videos, especially when you go into topics about, just building in the spirit, building up your spirit in this walk. It's a lot of points made in this video, and I highlighted a couple points that I thought was important, stuck out. Every now and then we'll pause the video, go over a couple points, and then at the end of the video I'm gonna give a few precepts to go with those points as well. You know what I'm saying?
So, where you want me to cue it up time wise?
Get started from pretty much the beginning. You got the timestamps I gave you, right?
Right. I just want to know what's the order. You know what I mean?
It's from the top to the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So basically, we'll start around 15:30.
Right.
Con. All praise. Let me cue it up for you, King. Okay. Let's see who we got in here, King. Let's
The book of Proverbs.
hold on. Salakia. Salakia.
That was me, but it wasn't me.
Right. That was Quadak from the past.
You know what I'm saying?
Salakia, hold on. Let's get this room set up right. I see we got some peeps in the building. Right. I see some soldiers in here, some sisters. I see some faces I'm not 100% familiar with. Get some shout outs. Sister Sion Yehuda Yisrael. Shalom, sis. It's a pleasure to have you in the building. All right. I see some soldiers in here. I see some prospects in here. Good to see y'all brothers in here. Hey, take notes. You know what I'm saying? Stay on point. I see the powerful Shatar Apiyak Banya Hauda in the building. Right. Lord willing. He might be in between a couple missions right now, but Lord willing, he'll hop on later, right? Hey, Rob the Riddler. He talking about that perm. Quadak, he talking about the thumbnail. Hey, look, ain't that the Michael Jordan crying face?
Michael's in the crying.
Hey, shalom to Sakari Riverside. You know what I'm saying? Them brothers come on here and join us. And then at 8 o'clock, Officer Shaquad has study and reading session at Riverside. So, Lord willing, Officer Shaquad will have some time, right before he got to do his reading, and come on, let us know a little bit about what they're doing at Riverside, and explain how we joined at the hip. We just had a joint camp with Riverside yesterday. It was great. It was little bit of inclement weather, but we still got out there, did our thing, and we bonded as a band of brothers. That's a beautiful thing.
Very, very powerful brothers, very powerful, headstrong, you know what I'm saying? Bald headstrong, Shaquan, you know what I'm saying?
Hey Shaquai, you gonna let that go?
That's my guy. That's my boy
I'm
right there.
I'm
You know
I'm gonna
what
put a I'm gonna put in a link in the chat for Shaquai.
I'm saying?
Hey, we get my brother in here later on. All right. Well,
Powerful
cool.
brother.
As y'all can see, family. Hey, for everybody that don't know us, hey, we brothers, man. We talk that trash, but all in love. You know what I'm saying? But that's our brothers over there at Riverside. You know, I see some more brothers from Riverside. I see Degar in here, right? Soldier Degar. So yeah, without further ado, man, I'm gonna go ahead and start that video. Let me get it queued up. Make sure it ain't a gang of advertisements and whatnot, right? Because look, speaking of advertisements, y'all do know the channel is officially monetized, right? So we've been discussing some things we can do to kind of help support this ministry and what we're gonna be bringing out. Because once your channel is monetized, you can start a membership, right? And we talked about this a little bit last week, and we haven't really come to a complete uh, decision. But we want to open up feedback, from the audience, from the chat. So we want to start a membership, and I think the memberships on YouTube are like $2 a month, but it's just your way to show support to the particular channel. But as a benefit for our members, we thinking of having a weekly random drawing from all the members, and each week we can give away, on regular weeks we can give away, little things like shemags or um, meat trees or maybe even tassels or little, small things that help you with your brew drip, right? Help you stay brewed out. But then also, you know, periodically it could be, a new moon thing or it could be a high holy day thing. Hey, we gonna give out the big dog because we got so many brothers in here that's just talented. We got brothers that make clothes, music, uh, you know, custom staffs, custom jewelry, crowns, garments, right? So that's something to think about. I want to get y'all feedback on some ideas of what y'all think about, building a membership and then doing a weekly raffle or a weekly random drawing from amongst the members. Of course, soldiers and officers excluded, all right? But let me know your feedback on that. And but anybody that's not a soldier or a member, right? Or a spouse of a soldier, Salakia, not a soldier or an officer. I see, hey, caveat, right? It's that caveat. Anyone who is not a soldier or an officer, right? Members of Sakari, ribs excluded. Look, sis, look at princess. Ribs excluded. Oh man, yeah, because we want to be fair. We want to make this for the people that support. We know the ribs and the soldiers and the officers. We family. We get together all the time. We support each other. We know that. We can physically see that, but we want to give something back to the people that we don't get to see often that still support us on the regular. So just put that out there. Even soldiers and family. Ribs and cousins and kinfolk. Now, by extension, cousins are probably going to be included, right? We're gonna figure out the ground rules whether cousins are included. Like, what if your cousins stay with you? You know what I'm saying, Kodak? It's a fine line, right? But we gonna figure it out. But we want feedback. Like, what y'all think about that first and foremost? Let us know what you think about it, and then what kind of things would be interesting. You know what I'm saying, to give away weekly without breaking the bank. You see what I'm saying? And look, don't forget, folks. We do this out of love for our people, right? And we do it day in and day out. It's not a one day thing. You know what I'm saying? We don't just show up to camp and that's it. Y'all can always reach out to us. You know what I'm saying? We got the email. Matter of fact, Quaduct. Oh, we got it right there on the screen, right? I was gonna say, can you type that in for me while I'm running my mouth real quick? LBC, you know what I'm saying? lbcsakari@gmail.com,
All up in
right?
the chat.
Yeah, just post that in the chat for me, just so, if people want to get at us with ideas, comments, questions, show ideas, whatever the case, content, or topics that you want to go over, hit us up. You can also comment, right? Please. With that being said, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't also done that, and leave us comments. Let us know what you think. And we got the Officer Apiyak in the building. All right. All praises to that. Officer Apiyak, sound check, King. Mic check. All right, we're gonna give Apiyak some time to get situated. I think he just dropped off. Might be having connectivity issues. But yeah, Akim and Aqua. And matter of fact, just as a little check right now, um, let's see. Let me get some feedback on what y'all think of that idea. And feedback is welcome at this point from the ribs as well. So what y'all think about that idea so far? Here we go, Apiyak. Shalom, King.
Shalom out.
Shalom. You good to go? You need a mic check?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me get a
Okay.
mic check real quick.
Yeah, it
Mic
sound
check,
good.
mic check. 1, 2.
No
Con,
echo.
con.
Oh, there's a little echo, but not major though.
Let's do it again. Apiyak, mic check.
Can you hear me? What I'm
Yeah,
sounding like in the building.
You sound good on my end.
yeah,
Let's
you
get some
sound straight.
feedback. Let's get some feedback. What Apiyak sound like in the chat? Good to go. Apiyak, we about to get right to it. We're gonna start the first little segment of the video. I was just doing some housekeeping. You know what I'm saying? Shouting some people out, throwing some ideas out there. Like I said, our channel is monetized now so that we had the ability or the capability to do memberships. So I was just soliciting ideas for memberships. And, we talked earlier about maybe doing like a weekly raffle or a weekly giveaway to all praises, Rochelle Bruner. Okay. Weekly giveaway to members, right? Which so far, everyone seems to agree that that might be a positive, you know what I'm saying? Might have a positive outcome with that idea because the key is to increase participation and increase viewership so that we can get this message out there. So as you can see at the banner on the bottom, if it's on your heart, hey, help support the ministry. $ Bazak is the Cash App. We got the super chat if you want to have some a direct impact on the live stream. You can super chat. If you're watching it later, you can Cash App or super thanks, right? But we do know that super chat take about 30% weight on it. They
That's what
they
they say.
tax they taxing. But hey, if it's on your heart, any way, shape, or form, $2 drive, keep us alive. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely things that help the membership, help the ministry keep going is support from the membership. And that's why we do what we do. We do it for y'all, you know what I'm saying, out of love for our people and out of the desire to get up out of this God-forsaken, damned nation, right? AKA the daughter of Babylon, right? So without further ado, man, I'm going to get right to it. Say shalom. Shalom to the sister Rochelle Bernard. See you in the building. All praises. Glad to have you, right? So let me get to it, King.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 2.
Salaki, let me rewind a little bit. All right. Couch Captivity Created, episode 40.
Proverbs, chapter 25 and verse 16. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee. Read it again. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee.
Hast thou found honey? Honey is what? Honey tastes good, right? honey is pleasurable, right? Finish it out.
Lest thou be filled therewith and vomited.
Read it from the top again.
Hast thou found honey?
Uh-huh.
Eat so much as it is sufficient for thee.
Why does it say eat as much as sufficient for you? It's just like the verse where it talks about the robbers that come into the grapevine and they don't take just enough, they take it all. So it's telling you, when it comes to that honey, when it comes to that pleasure, when it comes to those things that make you feel good, your vices, eat as much as sufficient for you. But what? Lest thou be filled therewith, meaning in abundance, and then you vomit it up. You understand? Too much of anything is not good. You understand? You feel me? Right? Let me get the blue letter for honey. Let me see. What's up? Honey, right? By analogy, syrup, honey, right? Sweet things, right? Things that are pleasurable, right? Let me get Psalms 19, Psalms 1 and 19. Oh, cool. Oh, sure. As a matter of fact, let me get the definition for hedonism. Yeah, you're not gonna find it in the Bible. Hedon. Yeah. No. Huh? Why? I need the definition for hedonism. My phone's up there. Yeah.
Hey, look, this
So like,
back in the Compton days,
This is
right?
the definition
Hold
for
on, hold on,
hedonism.
because
Of
hold on.
pleasure, the pursuit of pleasure, right? Go ahead.
What is going
Sensual
on?
self-indulgence.
Self-indulgence.
Okay, Salakia, King, what was that?
God, I was gonna say before he gets to that definition of hedonism, he brought out a powerful point, about the honey and that representing, the pleasures, but anything that's too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, right? A scripture that just popped up in my head was 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Right. So, like we said, a couple of us, we have our own vices and they're not maybe, contrary to the law, but we understand that we're brought to the power of some of those things, whether it be drink or, maybe a little edible or something like that, or anything. You know what
Or
I'm saying?
maybe some tennis shoes, huh?
Yeah, that part. Hey, that part. Hey, financial literacy. You might be a big spender. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Be a
right.
big spender. But, being brought under the power of that, usually will lead you down a path of going off. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, and Apiak shared something with me earlier that touches on that point through the spirit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go over exactly that. Like the amount of spending power we have versus our you know, our net worth as a people. So it's a direct correlation to what we prioritize, what satisfies us. You get that stimulus check and want to go out and, get the big screen TV and the
and
next new
that's
J's, right?
it.
Instead
That's
of saving some money.
man.
But yeah, and then that make you sick when the light bill ain't on. So yeah,
I got the light from the TV.
right. Yeah,
That's
yeah. That's called cognitive dissonance.
that part.
All right. We're gonna keep going.
Indulgence, right? That's what the world is into. Hedonism. You understand? Yeah. Didn't they have like a yeah. Yeah. There's a thank you. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, he probably been every freak dick there been. You know what I'm saying? Right? Go ahead. The philosophy, the ethical theory that pleasure, in the sense of the satisfaction of desires, is the highest good and proper aim of human life. But what did we just read? Read that again. I know you don't want to go back to it. But read hold on. Read Proverbs 25 and 16 again. Yeah. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 25 and verse 16. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee. Hast thou found pleasure? Eat so much that's sufficient for you. Don't do more than you don't get more than you need. Don't take in more than you need. Right? Only what's sufficient for you. Go ahead. Lest thou be filled therewith and vomit. And vomit it up. Right? Let me get that. Psalms 1 and 19. 1 and 19. Psalms. What? 1 and 19. Nah, y'all playing. Nah, that don't work either. Okay, man, y'all, come on, calm down. You're acting like I, come on. I might have wrote it wrong, I guess. Let me see. Oh, is it 119? Yeah, what's Psalm 119? Psalm 119. Let's hear this here at the top. Oh. What is it? That's a 19. $19 and 10? Listen. Let's get Ciroc 19 and 2. Oh my God! Alright. Gosh. I wrote it down right. That's crazy. You know? What happens when you don't get help? You know? Yeah, everybody get there. Stay calm. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 2. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away. Wine and women. Remember, this is about, Listen, this is about ruling thy flesh, man. Right? Remember, the first verse is about having some pleasure, but not in abundance. Read that again. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away. Will make men of understanding to fall away. Wine and women. Drunkenness and the chasing of women, right, will make men of understanding to fall away. Right? Go ahead.
And he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent.
Become what?
Impudent.
Let me get the blue there for impudent.
All right, Khan, yes. No, that's a couple points that we had noted right there. And then y'all brothers want to chime in here, or we at a stopping point, or we need to go to the next point. Y'all both on mute.
Get that definition for impudent, and then we can move on to the next point.
Right. I'm gonna let him get that, and then we're gonna circle back. Right.
Yeah, I got them dropped off for a second because I missed a little bit.
All right. So we'll circle back to that definition.
All right, Con.
Right. And all praises, Kashak, keeping the $2 drive alive. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Keep that $2 drive alive. All praises. All right. And we will continue.
We're in this. Yeah.
You see by the white couch, this is the Compton studio, right?
I could just get it in the regular dictionary. Huh? Okay.
Let's fast forward a little bit.
Like I said, man. So there are ways for everyone that is free of gain, taking away the life of others. Again?
My son, chapter 1,
Out of 15.
this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, and verse 15. My son, walk not thou in the way with them.
Read it again.
My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path.
My son, walk not in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path, right? Don't go down that same road they going, right? You know how it go. Y'all know when your parents say that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We didn't necessarily take heed. Some did, some didn't. Right? Keep going.
For their feet run to evil,
Uh-huh.
and make haste to shed blood.
Go ahead.
Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You know? You about to get caught up going on that road, going on that path. Right? Following them to do wickedness. Right? Go ahead.
And they lay wait for their own blood.
Meaning what? You're only leading yourself to your own destruction. Keep going.
They lurk privily for their own lives.
Go ahead.
So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain.
See, and that like brothers say, man, chasing the bag, right? I was watching a video on Instagram about these brothers that decided to rob Edomite downtown in Beverly Hills. broad daylight, sitting at a restaurant for a watch that he had on. You seen that, right? And they shoot him. Broad daylight. Busy. Listen, I work out there. Busy for a watch. They're all arrested. Like, you can't. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain. My nigga, work, bro. Work.
Gazio, Salakia.
You understand? But
Con.
You know, that's you know, that's also a powerful point, you know, as well, because you know, we just the most recent example of that, you know, people probably know about is, you know, the PNB Rock situation where, you know, he had got shot at the Roscoe's, you know, only to get robbed of his jewelry, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's that greed, and that greed really don't have a nigga thinking, because if you guys know the suspects, it's a father, his son, and his mother. The whole family, you know what I'm saying, is getting locked up just because of that greed. Put the whole family in jeopardy. You know, the son, the father got his son with him just to rob a nigga just for greed. And
Yeah, that's definitely the flesh ruling the spirit, because any brother that's in the spirit, for one, you ain't gonna be looking at your brother like that. And two, you're not gonna be training your child to be wicked, right? And three, I mean, when the spirit dealing with you, you tend to have common sense, right? Like Sarge said, what behooves a nigga to walk up to Beverly Hills where there's cameras everywhere and niggas stick out? You know that, like, Beverly Hills some time ago, they had like a task force program where, you know, they would stop and frisk and arrest suspicious looking people. Guess what? Out of like 150, 160 arrests, guess how many was Negroes? 159. And the other one was a Latino. Sound like to me, Northern Kingdom got enough not to take their ass up to Beverly Hills, for one, right? Unless they involved in some shopping. And two, nigga, they don't want you there anyway. So how you think you gonna walk around in your little pack and then walk up to a restaurant, not only rob somebody, but shoot somebody? As if you're not drawing all the eyes, you know, all the cameras, all the eyes in the place. Man, come on. That's pure ignorance, where the flesh is even overtaking your mind, right? Just because of a watch. Make no sense. It's just not rational. So, but yeah, that's just ridiculous to me.
guess what? It's the lust of the flesh. You know what I'm saying? That greed, that gain. Go ahead, finish it up.
So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? Let me get Psalm 19, Sirach 19 and 2. Did we get there yet? No, right? No. We pulled it, but we ain't read it, right? You read it? Oh, yeah, read that. Read it up. Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 2. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away.
Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away. It's happened to the greatest of us, right? When it talks about, it's in the Apocrypha somewhere, where it talks about what's more powerful, the king, alcohol, or women? The alcohol make you do messed up stuff. So alcohol controls you. The king, he's got power. But guess what? The woman has power over the king. See how that works? Because what do men do all this stuff for? Come on. The nigga robbed, he's robbing money so he can show off in front of women. The greatest job he can get, it's not so that he can live in a house alone, so that he can have a woman or women. You understand? And if he got the dime piece and the package and all that, he's gonna do everything he can to keep her. This is man and woman 101. A woman is more powerful than the king, right? Because although Bill Clinton was able to get head, you know what I'm saying? It was still the wife that decided to stay that made him the man that he was. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, you gotta talk up. Hey, can make moves. Make more moves than the king. You understand? The queen gotta protect the king. You know? When the pawn gets to the other side, what happened? He can only rank up the queen. He can't even rank up to no king. You know? This ain't checkers.
We about 45 minutes in, 40 minutes in. I'm gonna go ahead and Quadot, let's kind of we went over quite a few points in that. Let's find some points that you wanted to bring out and just kind of reiterate some things that we just went over. Especially, I see we got some new peeps in here. You feel me? Let me kind of reset the room a little bit, and Quadoc, let me know what precepts you want to go over that was in that little block. I think I got them. Pulled up here, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, just for everybody that just joined, right? We going over Couch Captivity that created episode number 40. Topic being rule thy flesh, right? And Sergeant Bazak is going into, things that rule our flesh. Wine, women, and money, right? The desire for each of those, right? So we're going to go back through that. I see we got some peeps in here. Shalom to the brother Alton Obey. You know what I'm saying? My kinfolk from the Narlands. He always be talking bad about my dirty birds, but that's all right. Ain't nothing but love, King. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you here. All right. Jeremiah, what's up, King? Good to see you in here. Yeah, man, we had a little inclement weather, so we was in the back, you know what I'm saying, doing guerrilla training. You feel me? All right. Shalom. We got Sister Amawana. Shalom, sis. All praises. Good to see you in the building. All right. Much love to you. Akim and Aqua. It's always a pleasure. All right. We used to say triple dubs. Wine. What is it? Wine, women, or whiskey, women, and what's the other dub? Oh, weed, wine, and women. See that? You could tell this brother. Hey, look, Kashak. He just telling you how niggerish he really is.
Hey, Kashak.
he,
I got a
no,
question.
he getting double inebriated.
You know
You know
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying?
I got
In
a
the
question.
back in the world, yeah.
I got a question for the soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Since we talk
Uh-huh.
about, wine and women, what is the other fall of man? You know what I'm saying? What is the fall of man? Let's see. We'll get some answers in the chat. We'll go over them later, but
Yeah,
that's
let
the
that
question
ride,
for the
and
soldiers.
we'll
You know what I'm
see what
saying?
kind of responses we got. Yeah, we let that question
Book
ride for a
chapter
minute.
verses. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
we could jump to the second timestamp, and then we can leave it at that, and then I'll go into the precepts that I got.
Look, we got some soldiers that's on point. I can tell you that, right? Some of them is in the ballpark, ain't touching base yet, but some of them, you know what I'm saying, getting
Wow.
singles and doubles. You know what I mean? Couple brothers might be getting triples. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to where we all hitting it out the park. You feel me? But I think that's a forever pursuit, right?
You know.
Forever pursuit to be knocking it out the park. Hey, so look, Kodak, the next stamp is probably around 37. You
Yeah,
want me to
that's
go
it.
ahead
That's
and
it. That's
skip
only a couple
skip to
minutes.
there?
Yeah.
Con. I
Don't
see
worry about
I see the soldiers in here. You know what I'm saying? With their response, Kodak.
it. Yeah.
Let me cue that up. 3730.
Yes, sir.
All right. Got it queued up and back to the video.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 32, and verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved. A sinful man will not be reproved. Right? But findeth an excuse according to his will. So while Chief Demon telling me, yo, Bazak, can't be smoking weed, man, I'm sitting there like, yeah, but even before I even had the conversation, I'm looking up different words in the Hebrew. I'm looking up Google. I'm like, can you show me weed in the Bible? And man, I went cannabis, bro. I went every route I could. And while I'm doing that, I hear Elder Zabak bring that out, right, on a video. And I said, good God, I'm over here. Read it again. 32 and 17. A sinful man will not be reproved. A sinful man will not be reproved. I will not be corrected. You understand?
That's a great point, Sarge Baker, right there. Hey, look, I'm gonna take a little what you call that? Little break. I'm gonna bring on one of the brothers that always be coming around, man. Cool, brother. I'm gonna see where you at with it. Oh, Jeremiah, man. Jeremiah, you in the building, King.
Kings, man, I just want to give y'all a big hand clap, finger snaps all the way around the table, a big salute, and just want to let y'all know, man, I see y'all definitely rocking like cocaine, man. You dig what I'm saying, man? So y'all definitely keep the word going, man. It's really inspiring people, their families, and which leads into the community, man. So I didn't really want to stop it's your whole flow. I just wanted to give y'all peace and love, and I missed y'all brothers yesterday. I was waiting on it like a crackhead, like, where the brothers at? Oh, they not out here. Where the brothers at? Oh, they not out here. So I just want to give y'all big hand claps, finger taps, man, and let y'all know, man, y'all definitely doing y'all motherfucking thing, and keep it going. That's all I really wanted.
Hey, we appreciate you, Jeremiah. And look, we was there, but when it started raining, we moved into the back, right? And we did guerrilla training. So, we might have been two ships in the night. But hey, Jeremiah, just out of your own personal testimony, I know you had shared something with me before about, you were smoking weed and cigarettes and whoop-de-whoop. But what's your personal journey with that, if you don't mind sharing? Cause you on mute, King. You good?
It was. I came to the conclusion that environment and triggers. Let me explain. Environment and triggers. It would be a situation to where either my daughter would, kids being kids, you know what I'm saying? They just go do something real goofy at school, and I'll be like, okay, well, what was the issue? What was the issue? What was the issue? What was the issue? And then, I don't know. So I'll get frustrated and be like, shit, okay, well, I need something to do to kind of burn off this energy. But it's like the only thing that'll help right now would be cigarettes. And I'm like, okay. Then I realized, okay, the environment also. You dig what I'm saying? I did a couple of research that, really only poor people smoke. Low income poor people smoke. So I have to get into the rich mindset. And it's been a hard battle. I'm not gonna even lie to you. It's been like a real hard battle going back and forth. You dig what I'm saying? And something I thought that would ease my mind and the tension and everything else that's going along with it. It really was like slowing me down. It was, and I'm talking about weed and cigarettes, both of them. It was slowing me down. Right. It wasn't, I wasn't as productive as I thought I was. I was doing a whole lot of movement and not progress.
Spinning wheels.
If I could say that, yeah, it was a whole lot of movement in my brain. In my brain, I would think, oh yeah, man, we doing this and we doing this and we doing this and we doing this. But then at the end of the day, I'll look at my to-do list and only one thing got done out of the 12 or 14 things that needed to get done. And then I find myself like, oh damn,
yeah, that's a key point. Is being accountable, taking measure of where you really at, which that's a wise thing that you do is, you reflect back on your to-do list and you take measure of where you at, and then you can mark, points. You can log points of progress, right? So I know we had a brief discussion on it that, hey, it goes hand in hand through the spirit of ruling your flesh, right? And the best way to rule your flesh is through the spirit, right? That's following these law, statutes, commandments, and viewing things from the prism of wisdom, which is all we need. That's our rule book. That's our roadmap, right? That's our blueprint. Is the Torah and the wisdom in the Bible, the law and the
Right.
testament, right?
The apocrypha also, just want to throw that in there, you know.
Huh.
And it was the books kind of kept me going. I'll read and just kind of get something from John or Matthew or one of the brothers and or sisters, like, yeah, you know what, I'm a exercise that, and I'll try my hardest to exercise it, but then I'll be like, man, this shit ain't working. Then it like you said, it'd be a huge just battle with the flesh. Like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's kind of like when is it Paul? I think it was brother Paul when he was having that battle with himself. Like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, even
That's
though I
Paul.
know, right? Even though I know what I'm supposed to be doing, I
Right.
just can't do what I'm supposed to be doing because I know what I'm doing is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So I bumped it. I kept. It was kind of like that brick wall I kept hitting. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I kind of and I yield my time.
Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Jeremiah. Hey, brother, stay diligent. Stay in this word. Keep fighting daily, and keep putting oil in your lamp so that your spirit outshine the woes of the world, or the trappings of the world. The fleshly thing. You know what I'm saying, brother? But keep doing what you're doing. Keep being a good father. You know what I'm saying? And keep checking in with us, King.
Man,
All
I
right.
love y'all brothers, man. Y'all keep shining like y'all do, man. Y'all keep this shit cooking like cocaine, man. And I'll keep trying, brother. I keep
That
trying.
boy.
I'll do
That
it.
boy.
I'll do as you say.
Hey, that boy. Wow, with them damn paraphernalia references, boy. All right, man. I'm gonna get with you, King. I'm gonna get with you. All right. But the water, King, we love you. How about that, King? Yeah, man. Hey, look. Just to show y'all, brothers, man. Hey, we deal with brothers as they come, man. We don't judge brothers, but look, I seen that brother come by and come through, and he on his journey, and we here for him, and he know that he could talk to us about anything. You know what I'm saying? He come by the camp, he can always chop it up with us. Hey, speaking of brothers, man, my brother Tazamar, right? Brutang Tazamar, Shalom, King. Ain't seen you in a minute. You know what I'm saying? He moved out to the A. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing out there. Shalom, Tazamar. Right? All right, but yeah, Quadoc, I'm gonna skip to the next timestamp, or we just skip to the next time. I'm gonna keep going, and then you let me know, when you wanna
Yeah, we got a little. Yeah, we just got a little bit left. That's all. We got a little bit left.
All right, for sure.
Go ahead. Finding an excuse. But I was looking for an excuse. No matter what anybody said, I'm looking for an excuse. What? According to his will, according to my will. And when I heard that, and when I was looking for these different ways that I was able to smoke weed, I said, nah, I can't do this no more. That's me right there, all day. Sinful man will not be reproved, but he find an excuse according to his word. And I want all of you to be mindful of that, and all of you to be aware of that when it comes to your own lives. A sinful man will not be corrected. What it was about the dread? That dread thing? It's like, yeah, but other brothers, and I was like, yeah, but I seen a video. I said, bro, no, bro, we don't do that here. You know what I'm saying? So, to each his own, man. I mean, brothers gonna get it when they get it. If you don't get it, the Most High showed it to you. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, all praises. Brother Alton said, used to smoke weed. When I found out that weed was a form of witchcraft and that God, you know what I'm saying, for this truth, he gave it up, right? So look, that's true. That's that pharmakia. Anything that alter your state of mind, that's that pharmakia, right?
At least you know who you are now. You ain't got to question that. You just work out the kinks along the way, right? What Paul said, you just got to abstain from meat strangled, you know what I'm saying? Blood and sexual fornication or something. You know, that was it. Yeah, crime. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just start off like this, baby steps, right? Don't run. You know, we ain't got nowhere to go, right? Let me get that. First Peter. Hold on. Can we read Ephesians 5 and 18 yet? No, read it. It's up.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 18. And be not drunk with wine.
Yeah. No, Sirach was only 19 and 2. That was imputing, right? Yeah. Yeah, Ephesians 5 and 18.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 18. And be not drunk with wine.
And be not drunk with wine,
wherein is excess.
Wherein is excess.
But be filled with the Spirit.
That's what we got to do, man. So we got to war with our flesh, right? Let me get that. 1 Peter 5 and 8. And we got to learn to rule thy flesh. Rule your flesh. Right? What they say? Rule your rod, you can rule the world.
I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Better believe it. You know what I'm saying? Even Solomon fell to that. Had everything. You know? What? Samson fell to that. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's what love will do. That's what a nagging woman will do. You'll be like, oh my God, woman. Shut up. So, man, let me tell you something. You saying Samson was lying to those women? Every time, yeah. He was lying to that woman. Anyways, I ain't gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't creating no doctrine on it. Don't worry, man. We got a whole lot left. Go ahead. We're good.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober. Be vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Read it again. Watch your bag.
Be sober. Be vigilant.
Be sober. Be vigilant. Right? Be sober. Be sober. Be vigilant. Go ahead.
Because your adversary, the devil.
See, because your adversary, Hashatan, right? That's what adversary is. Hashatan. Satan, right? The devil, what?
As a roaring lion, walketh about.
He walking around, what?
Seeking whom he may devour.
Listen, he did that. He tried to do it with Job. And he went to the Most High like, hey, I can knock Job off the square. Job had to lose everything. This nigga wanted to test his, you know what I'm saying? Man.
All right, kind.
All praises, yeah.
That part.
That's a good point. Hey, look, Shalom got a couple other brothers that came through here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Shalom Tazamar, Shalom Naquad. All praises, King. Good to see y'all brothers in here. You know what I mean? Feel free. Like we always say, this is an interactive, right? This is an interactive participation. You feel me? If y'all got feedback, points, questions, comments, you know, feel free. Hit us up. If we deem it worthy, we'll bring you up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes if it's somebody that we just know, we'll bring you up. But hey, hit us up. participate. You feel me? But yeah, Quadat, I know you had some points you wanted to go over.
Yeah,
Uh,
you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's powerful. We ended on that last point, you know, the First Peter 5:8, you know, where it talks about be sober and be vigilant, you know,
huh.
Satan, he's like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. How does
Right.
he get to you? How does he devour you? You see what I'm saying? When you're indulged in wickedness, when you're indulged with the things that aren't expedient for you and you're brought under the power of it. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And how do we avoid that? We avoid that by walking in wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Walking in the ways of wisdom in all of our walk of life. You know what I'm saying? Where we get that wisdom from, we get it from the word. You know, which brings me to my first precept, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 7, right? We can get it out the GNT, you know what I'm saying, just to make it a little easier for, the viewers. Were you gonna pull on the screen, or can I just read it?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it on the screen. Give me a second.
All right, bet.
You said 8 and what?
8 and 7.
Con. All right, out whenever you're ready. You know what I'm saying? You could bring that out.
God. This is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 7 out of the GNT. Do you love justice? All the virtues are the result of wisdom's work. Justice and courage, self-control and understanding, life can offer us nothing more valuable than these, right? Now, when you read in the KJV, it talks about what can she do, or it talks about the her. We know that her is talking about that wisdom. So when we walk in the ways of wisdom, wisdom gives us wisdom gives us the ability to have that self-control. You know what I'm saying? The ability to rule over our flesh. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the most valuable things that you can have in this life, because we understand that we're in a constant warfare dealing with the spirit and the flesh. You see what I'm saying? Because the war starts with you. It starts with the inward man. You see what I'm saying? Because the inward man reflects on what comes outward, right? Your works. Now, what you produce, what you put out into the world, right? Uh Give me the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18. We're gonna start from the top, right? Because there's a lot of things that we have to avoid going into. We have to constantly check ourselves on to make sure that we're not indulging, you know what I'm saying, in wickedness to a point where, we get devoured by Satan, to a point where we're not ruling our flesh, right? So this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18 and verse 1. The word of the Lord came unto me again, saying, what mean ye that ye use this proverb concerning the land of Israel, saying, the fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge, right? What does that mean? We're going to get into it. As I live, saith the Lord God, ye shall not have occasion any more to use this proverb in Israel. Behold, all souls are mine, as the soul of the Father. So also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. Right? So when it talks about parents eating the sour grapes, and the children, their teeth are set on edge, it's because we understand that. Remember how he went into the honey? How the honey is the pleasurable things, right? So now we got something talking about a sour grape. And we understand, right, when we eat something sour, you start to pucker up. You know what I'm saying? It leaves a certain bitter feeling in your mouth, right? So what that's going into is indulging into wicked things. And the reason that, the kids are basically, when it says their teeth are set on edge, it's talking about them like, puckering because it's sour, right? Is because you're supposed to raise up a child in the way that you should go. And your children are picking up on the ways that you're doing. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the Lord says that, all souls are mine, the soul of the Father and the soul of the Son is mine. So that soul sinneth, it shall die, right? Because it all falls down into those who's looking up to us, who's following our example, right? So, verse 5, but if a man be just and do which is lawful and right, and have not eaten upon the mountains, neither have lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, right? Ezekiel 6:13 goes up to how, there's altars on top of the mountain, and that's where, people will go into sacrifice unto idols of these other gods, right? Neither have defiled his neighbor's wife, neither have come near to a menstruous woman, and have not oppressed any, but have restored to the debtor his pledge, have spoiled none by violence, have given his bread to the hungry, and have covered the naked with a garment. He that have not given forth upon usury, neither have taken any increase, that have withdrawn his hand from iniquity, have executed true judgment between man and man, have walked in my statutes, and have kept my judgments to deal truly. He is just, he shall surely live, saith the Lord God. So, it goes into a couple examples of sin, what I'm saying, and it goes into the contrary things of that. Instead of, committing usury towards your brother, or trying to, rob your brother and kill him, like we just went over, a little bit ago when we was watching the video, give to the poor, what I'm saying? Lend to your brother that needs something. Put your time and energy into doing those righteous things, right? And you shall surely live, right? Because that's all a part of ruling thy flesh. Because
Con,
it could start with the smallest things. You might think, like I said, that's the reason I brought up that precept earlier about the whole expedient thing. Because it could
con,
start out small. You could start off shoplifting from whatever for whatever. But then you're getting away with it, right? You're able to get more and more. Now you want to move on to the next thing. Now you want to move on to an actual person without ever thinking about the consequences, because that greed is taking over your spirit. You see what I'm saying? Spirit full of greed. So you have
con.
to make sure that we move in the ways of wisdom to control ourselves, right?
Con.
Uh,
It boils down to using the law as your guidepost, right? As your moral foundation. And when you practice the law, it's like exercising in the gym. You know, you get stronger in it as you practice it, right? Hey, Apiyat, I think you're on mute, King. There you go.
Con.
I think this is a good segue. I wanted to bring out Shalawam Karabia. I wanted to bring out one of the points you shared with me earlier about that little clip about our like our economic, our spending power versus our net worth as a people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
facts, right?
I think that's prudent to bring that out, just to bring like a practical example of what we're talking about. Is like brothers not taking certain things in priority, or not having the wisdom of what to do with money when they get it. You know what I'm saying? So let me cue that up, King, real quick. And I'm gonna bring that out, and then you just you let me know when you wanna you know what I'm saying, speak on it. But yeah, the source of this is CNBC, right? It's like a financial network. You know what I'm saying? They focus on stocks and finances and so on and so forth. So Apiak brought this out. It might have a commercial, so bear with me. Yeah, we gonna let this commercial do what it do, and then we'll get right to it. All right.
And Frank Holland joins us this morning with a closer look at the growth in black spending power. Frank.
Hey, good morning to you, Andrew. Black spending power reached a record $1.6 trillion in 2021. The ability to buy, save, and invest more than doubling since 2000. That growth exceeding the full U.S. economy, but actually lagging other ethnic groups. Latinos with a 288% increase, Asians with a 388% increase in spending power. However, other groups, they've also seen an increase in their net worth. Black Americans instead have seen their wealth actually fall by 14%. And with the
Look, I just wanna. That's one of our thumbnails, right? That's a thumbnail. That's part of the thumbnail. that stood out to me. You see what I'm saying? And Apiyat gonna expound on this later, but just let this sink in, right? Overall, our spending power, regardless of ethnicity, overall, people's spending power is going up because income and revenue across the board is going up, right? But you know, Latinos spending power has increased exponentially. You see what I'm saying? So has so-called Negro spending power has increased exponentially. But what the hell are we spending it on? Like I said, you're going to find niggas lined up around the block at the damn mall when the new Jordan about to come out, or when the new PlayStation about to come out, or when they get that damn tax check. You're going to go to Target and Walmart and Best Buy, and you're going to see niggas with the biggest big screen, so they can't even use a cart. They got to pull a goddamn, what you call them things that pick the pallets up and up? The damn forklift.
Forklift.
They got a damn near forklift the TV up out of there, and this nigga light's going to be out on the next week. You feel me? Like, that's the kind of stuff we got to talk about in terms of what is ruling your spirit, bro. Right? So I just want that to stick. How is your spending power going to go up, but your net worth going down? It's part of the curses. It's all part of the curses.
Hey,
right?
I just thought of something too. You know, that whole, like, you know, like say spending on things and like TV and J's and shit. You know, we got Thanksgiving coming up. You know, Thanksgiving is that Black Friday. You got niggas killing each other at the Black Friday sale for no damn reason.
Yeah, all the pagan holidays is nothing but a money trap.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You go to the grocery store, you go to the mall, they got every aisle decorated for the holiday before it even come up. Because it's a spending trap. But niggas fall for it because they not prudent in what they need to be prudent in, right? They're not focused on what they need to focus in. But let me get through this, and then Apiyat, you put, you know what I'm saying, put your words on it.
S&P gaining 27% last year. The value of U.S. homes increasing by 31% last year. Many black leaders are asking the black community to really rethink how it spends.
Save money to purchase the most important asset you'll probably ever own, and that's your home. And that to me is equally important. As I said, I put it right up there with arguing or campaigning for or supporting voting rights.
I would love to see us spend.
And just for those that didn't catch it, right? That brother right there was the CEO of Black Entertainment Television. You see what I'm saying? So you know he got his bag, right? But then we know what BET used to look like before he sold it and versus what it looked like now. You feel me? That's another point, man. Niggas always think that they need to be involved in a white man's economy or in the heathen's economy instead of making these dollars stay within our own family. You feel me? I done seen brothers come out with a clothing line or a product or a service and go around to other brothers and talk about, hey man, I got this business. Hey, can you support? Oh man, that shit costs too much. You can't give me no break. But these same niggas will go up to the mall and looking for Prada belts and Gucci bags and Balenciaga shoes. Come on, man. What the hell is wrong with us?
More money in the stock market. Instead of buying the hottest new thing, buy the stock of the hottest new thing. And that's something that you can also pass down generation to generation.
Home ownership is typically the biggest wealth builder in the black community. That's actually fallen more than 3% since 2000. And annually, black families accumulate $300 billion less in wealth than white families, and they save $75 billion less. The racial wealth gap now at more than $11 trillion. Back over to you.
Yeah, so Apiyat, just let me know when you wanted to clip it. You want me to go to the end of it?
Yeah, just play it through to the end.
Okay, for sure. Here we go.
But I want to make the point real quick. You see Angela Yee, who is a Moabite, I believe she's Moab.
Right.
She's given
chocolate covered Moabite
our community advice on how to invest and how how to spend your money or manage your money or maintain your money wisely, right? To have financial prowess. But the point is, she's the other nations. She gets it. When it comes to us, we're just so lackluster with having it that even those of us who get it aren't out teaching anyone how to do it properly, at least not in an overall setting. You know what I'm saying? We don't have
Mm-hmm.
many black financial institutions teaching us how to deal with having money or having liquid assets. See, Tarai, we waiting for them classes. But the point is, that's because of us being under these curses. It's an affliction that we have to be so financially irresponsible. Is really part of our downfall, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody else can see it and can see how easily we can make certain changes demographically, and then it would improve our situation in the Americas. But we're so afflicted with these curses, we just can't get right.
Con. Valid point for sure.
Frankie, the statistics are startling and fascinating in so many different ways. Do business leaders and other experts have thoughts on how to stop the trend and what's really behind it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, some of it is simply allocating more capital to assets that at least have the potential to appreciate, things like houses, stocks, and bonds. Other reasons are systemic, and that's why about 1 out of every 5 black family has a negative net worth. Right now, systemic issues, redlining in housing, disparities in education, and other issues that are going to take a longer time to address.
Con.
Want to keep business moving? Then say hello.
So yeah, you see, and that was it. That was it. The brother made the point that systemically, yes, we're targeted, and no one can deny that. So we have to understand that this whole system is designed for us to not fly, for us to fail. So when the other nations approach us with the pull yourselves up by your bootstraps mentality, when they take that approach, they're trying to cancel out their involvement in our downfall or in our low state. They're
Con.
trying to place the onus on us today to pull ourselves up from this position, but they don't want to be recognized for their part in why we are where we are financially, especially as a nation. Technically, we're not even a nation. We're a body of people that are a part of a nation. So I'm saying this nation has never had our advancement in their plan. So I just thought that would go good with the topic for tonight. Ruling yourself, because technically the spending power in our community, and this is just in the southern community, a southern kingdom community, and technically they're really only talking about Judah in the Americas.
Con.
We have the spending power to do some damage, to make some effective changes, to raise our status in this nation, but we don't have the home training and a lot of these common practices that are literal parts of upbringing in the other nations. We're not teaching these same principles in our homes. We're teaching our kids what real niggas do or what coon niggas do. So I'm saying,
when
because they
when
got to
keeping
be,
it real, when keeping it real goes wrong,
when
right?
keeping it real goes all the way wrong.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to bring out a precept real quick
Uh-huh.
that kind of ties into this. I feel like it'll go with it pretty well. It's Proverbs
Con.
23, and I'm gonna read 20 and 21.
Okay, bet. Let me get that real quick. Say 23 and 21.
Con.
Con. All right, whenever you're ready, King.
I'm gonna read 20 and 21.
Okay.
So be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh, for the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. So if we take this concept into consideration as a nation, the drunkenness, which is just excess, right? And the riotous
Mm-hmm.
eating or the gluttony, which is just more excess, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the laziness on top of it, not making the right moves or drive a man to rags. You have to see that if we could rule our spirits, if the brothers who was getting the bag weren't buying Bentleys and they weren't buying Maybachs, they weren't buying gold to wear, and they were maybe investing in gold bullion, right? Things of that sort. We would be better off if we were implicating these ideas in our communities and we were teaching each other how to generate wealth. And then that was on that video too, saying that we don't even really have access to means to generate wealth. A lot of us with poor or failing credit can still get loans for vehicles, but not really loans for homes, right? We can get
Con,
loans for credit cards, but you can't get loans. You can't get business loans. See what I'm
con
saying?
that touch on the systematic or systemic pressures that we got on us as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Redlining
sir.
and unfair banking and so on and so forth. But we exacerbate the problem by being by having what I like to call is a lack of financial education or fiscal knowing how to be fiscally responsible,
Yes,
because
sir.
it kind of go into what we talked about on a previous lesson, how keeping it in the family, right? If you look at them brothers back in the day with Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all these um, real profitable black communities right after slavery, right? We had all these black inventions and all these brilliant minds that as soon as slavery was over, we went through all the patent laws and how things went back then, right? You brought that out last week. But here
Right.
we go. We unleash all of this talent and build our own communities. And do you know that the dollar in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at that community, that dollar circulated internally several revolutions, right? Meaning it was spent amongst our own people, amongst our own businesses. It didn't leave the community until at least 7 rounds. Now, a nigga can't hold on to a dollar till he giving it to somebody else. See what I'm
Con.
saying? So that frame of mind right there is like, hey man, hey, that new nigga, you got that new Call of Duty? You know what I'm saying? I'm on order. Oh, nigga, the J's is coming out. Oh my nigga, soon as I get this stimulus check, my nigga, I'm upgrading to the 70-inch flat screen.
God.
Instead of going, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go give back. You know what I'm saying? We got this, you know what I'm saying, Israelite event coming up. I'm gonna go make sure I contribute. You know what I'm saying? Or hey, I need to order some fringes. I'm gonna hit this Israelite up that do fringes. And understanding how keeping your money inside your community is beneficial versus, man, nigga, I ain't buying that bootleg shit, nigga. I'm gonna go get my shit from the goddamn boutique. Come on, you know what I'm saying?
From Mr. White's ice.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
His shit a little
But
colder.
I'm
Is
gonna
it?
go get Jacob the jeweler. You know, that's what it is, man. But hey, Naquad, Naquad gave you thumbs up, Oppa y'all. Hey, Naquad, Oppa y'all talking good
Shalom,
or what?
Abiad.
Ah, you know.
Dua.
But yeah, little wisdom from the powerful officer Oppa y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Because we always like to bring it, and this is one of the main things Sarge has instilled in us is make it relatable, right? Make it practical. So with that thought in mind, I want to get some feedback from the audience. What are some of the things that you suffer with in terms of ruling your flesh, whether it be financial, whether it be dietary, you eat too much, you drink too much, or whether it be carnal in the sense of, yo, I can't keep my eyes off of every woman that passed by, or whatever the case may be. I ain't gonna make it just on the brothers. It could be on the sisters too. As we going along, share with us some of the things that you have difficulty ruling your flesh on. You know what I'm saying? And with that, so in the meantime, Quadak, I know we was just about through most of the points. What was the next point you wanted to bring up?
Honestly, we good. We good. Honestly,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Apayak's clip, powerful point that we end right there.
We definitely got some more to talk about,
You know what I'm saying?
right? And part of it is getting feedback from the chat. You feel me? So number one thing I wanna get feedback on is name some of the things you struggle with that is just a matter of ruling the spirit. Because then the answer to that is, how do we rule that spirit? What tools do we have to rule our spirit? The simple answer is these law, statutes, and commandments, right? A more in-depth answer would be wisdom, which is a derivative of this law, statutes, and commandments, and the law and the testimony, right? Diligence, camaraderie, gathering with your brothers and sisters, right? Keeping each other accountable, having holy convocations and sharing and talking to each other. Well, you never know what kind of ideas pop up at a convocation where everybody is in the spirit. Everybody thinking about love for the nation, right? We don't have that mentality of building nations, nation building. We have been beaten into the mentality of, well, let me live in this man's world according to how this man's standard is, right? So let me get some of these comments from the chat, right? Soldier Tyan said, financially and carnally. Hey, elaborate on that, Tyan. Elaborate, King. You know, if you're talking good, we might just bring you up. You know what I'm saying? Elaborate on what do you mean by financially and carnally? And again, chat, I want to see participation, right? Especially from the soldiers. Let's talk about some things that we struggle with, to struggle to rule our flesh, right? So, Patakia, I eat a lot and drink too much soda. Hey, and your body shows it, King. You know what I'm saying? But that's why we love you. But look, even Patakia, right? He's conscious of what he need to do. But Patakia, what are some things that you're going to do to rule that, right? Let's talk about, right? How we going to rule that? How we going to rule our flesh? See what I'm saying? Who else we got on here? Yeah, Tayam, be a little more detailed. Those is broad topics, financially and carnally. Rob the Riddler, excessive buy. I buy too much instead of buy little amounts at a time. All right? Okay? So, Rob, to follow that up, let me know what you're going to do to rule that spirit, right? Here's Patakia's answer. I need to fast more often. Okay, you can do that, Patakia, but what about the times in between the fasts? Now, that's not a horrible answer, because when you're fasting, you're trying to build your spirit, right? So that's a great answer, King, right? But when you build that spirit up, you can't go break it down in between the build up, right? So you're either going to be on a permanent fast or you're going to find a balance. So in between fasting, what are some of the things you can do to rule that spirit of gluttony for food and beverages that is not conducive to your health, like carbonated sodas with a bunch of sugar in it, right? Hey, I want to hear from some of the aqua, right? Sisters, I see y'all in here. I want to hear from my people, what are some of the things we struggle with in the flesh? We struggle to rule carnally. That we know the answer is the spirit has to be stronger than the flesh, right? Let's see what Naquan say. Naquan say, I would say certain things financially and our women. Hey, bruh. I think you in the 90 percentile of niggerdom. Excuse my terminology, right? Look, that's all of us, bruh. That's all of us. You know what I'm saying? And these are learned behaviors, of course, right? Because we learn, or should I say, we learn poor financial habits just as a byproduct of the education system and growing up without that kind of emphasis put in our education, right? And when you don't got it, soon as you get it, it's like going hungry, and then as soon as you see some food in you it's like a glutton, right? So these are things that we have to learn to conquer and learn how to control and you know learn how to look at our sisters appropriately. And at the end of the day, fearing the Most High God above even your own urges. You see what I'm saying? But it's all spiritual, yeah. The water for sharing that, King, right? In the court. Hey, trust me, man. That is that's a common couple of things that brothers go through, right? See what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's see what Alton got to say. Anger at sometimes of our people that break the Most High simple laws. Hey, Alton, I hear you, King. And you know what? Like, honestly, I first coming in the truth, I really I'm still working on that. But that's something that would just, boom, from 0 to 100 with me. Is like, now that I see this simple truth, nigga, why can't you see it? You know what I'm saying? But look, what are some of the fruits of the Spirit? Patience, mercy, grace, right? The weightier matters. That comes with building, that comes with filling your lamp up with that oil and continuing to grow, King. So it's one level to know the law and know what's required of you and know what you're supposed to do. It's another level to show fruits of that spirit, meaning you not only having faith, but you having the works. And you not only being a hearer of the law, you being a doer of the law. And you diligently doing it. Day in, day out, day in, day out. You putting in that work, you're going to see the fruits of that labor. And what comes with the fruits of the labor are the weightier matters of the law. Grace, mercy, patience, right? You're going to learn, right? Let's see. Peter Congos, right? Let's see what Peter got to say. Shalom, brother. What would you say to a brother that's dealing with a porn addiction? Great question, Peter. Great question. You know, because look, and we went over this earlier, right? What was the verse that said, Kodak, what was the verse we went over that talked about anything in excess?
I believe it's 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12.
Let me pull that up, right? Because this brother got a great question. First Corinthians around 6, right? Let's see here. Okay, yeah, that'll touch on it, right? I think it was another one too about being sober, right?
Oh, you're looking for be ye sober?
It was talking about not necessarily be ye sober,
Be
but
being not
the
brought under the power of anything, right?
right.
Yeah, that's 1 Corinthians 6 and 12.
Okay, let's go there. All right, and this is for the brother Peter Congos, all right? Congos. Appreciate you for your participation, King. So let's go here. Okay. 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful unto me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Not in particular for this one, Quadoc, because I don't want to get into the lawfulness or the unlawfulness of porn because there's so many things wrong, you know what I'm saying, with sit there lusting and this and that. And I don't want to go into that whole argument. But what I want to say is anything that's an addiction, the key word I want to focus on here, a brother that's dealing with a porn addiction. So what that would entail And I've heard stories, I've heard testimony from brothers that was married, grown men, married, beautiful wife, in-house Quba, right? Accessible on a daily basis. And instead of laying in the bed with their beautiful wife, they going in the next room watching porn. That's an addiction. That's a problem. You see what I'm saying? That's something that's ruling your flesh, right? So, without knowing the brother or without knowing the details of your brother, right, Peter? What I would say is, of course, you got to pray. You got to be introspective. The brother has to ask the Lord to deal with whatever issues he's dealing with first and foremost, and what that would entail, which I'm assuming he's already come to grips that it's a problem, right? If he shared it with you on this level and he's coming to grips with that this is a problem, first and foremost, get on your knees, pray, and repent and pray to the Lord that he show you the root of this problem and walk you out of this path, right? Because of any addiction is going to lead to other complications. So,
Uh,
I don't
uh,
know the details of this brother situation, but look, prayer, right? And then self-examination. And then look, the more you pray, the more you examine, right? Repent, and then follow the law, statutes, and commandments. It could be small things that you are not doing, like not wearing your fringes, shaving your beard, shaving your head, getting that fresh line up, eating unlawful foods, not keeping Shabbat, not being brotherly. It could be a plethora of other things that open the gate. Me and Apiyak was joking about it the other day. We call it gateway sins. It's a little thing that'll open the door to some big problems. But yeah, go ahead, Quadop.
yeah, I was gonna say, most definitely pray and fast. That's
Mm-hmm.
essential, especially for problems, especially dealing with addiction.
Con,
Pray and fast. But on the side of that, what you got to do is you got to occupy yourself in other things. Of course, this word is going to take your mind away. It is if you're constantly occupied in this word, it leaves a lot less room for you to get involved in things like that. But even aside from the word, if you ever get that urge, go watch a video on YouTube about something, educate yourself, go play a video game, go on a walk, man. You know what I'm saying?
con,
The thing that you got to do is you got to replace that bad habit with a good habit. Think of
con,
something that you like to do. You know what I'm saying? And when and I'm gonna keep it a bug. That's a demon. That's a real demon. You see what I'm
con.
saying? So
Yeah, because that addiction right there is if a brother, let's just say technically a brother wants to say, hey man, show me in the law where it's against. Oh, okay, we're not gonna go there. But morally and just practically, like what we brought out earlier in First Corinthians, right? Right? All things lawful unto me, but all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not
not
expedient.
expedient.
Right? What it means is not expedient um it's not practically convenient for your betterment, right? So a porn addiction means there's underlying issues, and you
Right.
have to pray and fast and discover those. And maybe it's a relationship issue or a lack of a relationship. Me, I would say, nigga, go get you some kebab, nigga. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
that's
Find you a rib,
that's
right?
exactly what I was gonna say. Because on the scientific side of those things, I forget it's what's the chemical in your brain? It's like for the rewarding part of your brain.
Are
I forget. I
you
forget what it.
talking? Well, I think you talking about it just left my. I'm gonna come back to endorphins.
Endorphins, right?
Right.
And if you're constantly doing that, it's going to ruin, the rewarding part of your brain. To it gives you a false sense of rewarding, to where it literally strips away your perspective of reality. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like guys, y'all were saying, like, that's a real problem. You know what I'm saying? Because you always want to be grounded in reality of what's going on. So, yeah, man, occupy yourself in other things. And like, hey, as you already said, go get you some Koba.
Yeah, man. Pray, get yourself right, become the best man you can be.
Dopamine,
Focus.
God.
Yeah, dopamine is actually an endorphin, right?
God.
It's in that category.
Right.
It's a chemical that stimulates, it stimulates anything that stimulates your brain. It is in that category of chemicals. So, let's see. But great question, Peter. Right? We appreciate you, King. Look, Rob the Riddler said, Rob the Riddler is a Costco shopper, or even more so. That brother, he drive trucks, so he used to buy shit by the pallet, right? Hey, let me go get me a pallet of them
He said
steaks.
he
You
go
know
to
what I'm
the
saying?
business Costco to get the boat.
Hey, but look, he said I buy too much instead of buy little amounts at a time, right? And that's something. Hey, that's something brothers got to work on. Cause look, yo, I remember I was in a relationship back in the day. I was still in the world, and me and old girl, I couldn't stand going to Costco. You know why? Because we had this little bitty ass refrigerator, right? That couldn't even keep everything, man. So we go to Costco and we got to break everything down, store it in separate bags, put what we can put in the fridge and the freezer, and then go buy a separate goddamn floor model freezer for the stuff we couldn't even hold. Like, what sense did that make, man? Then you go in there, man, the muffins done went bad because you can't eat all them. You got, 5 loaves of bread. You got to freeze the bread, man. Come on, man.
Oh, good Lord.
You know what I'm saying, man? Be practical, bro. Hey, look, be practical. You know what I'm saying? What Tyon say? Tyon say, I would also say, have a bet with the brother to stop. Look, see this brother young. I'm gonna let him slide on that.
Hey,
Look,
actually, no.
no, look, you young too. I'm gonna tell both of y'all this at the same time. A grown man that got an addiction, you could bet all you want. The nigga gonna renege on the bet. You know what I'm saying? We talking addiction. Don't bet with an addict, my nigga. Period.
No, I was gonna say right. I was gonna say this right. Just remember, us as brothers, we're here for each other during our adversity. So if you ever need a brother to depend on or rely on to check on you and make sure that you're doing straight as far as that addiction goes, then that's a beautiful
Look,
thing.
that's one thing, but he's saying bet, make a bet. Like, I bet you won't do it no more.
Yeah,
If you do it again, yeah, come on, man. That's like betting with your crackhead cousin. I'll have a bet. Next time you smoke crack, you gonna, man, look, the nigga gonna rob you of what the bet was. Like, don't bet addict. Period. They ain't gonna get you nowhere. Tell that nigga to stay prayed up and fast and pray and repent.
Hey,
Bottom
that
line.
part.
And
As
pray.
far as addiction go, yeah, the bet as far as addiction goes, the bet probably is not the most
Yeah,
expedient.
definitely, it's not expedient, right?
Yeah,
But look, I tell you this: pray, fast. First, repent, pray, fast, repent, pray. Repeat that cycle diligently and build your spirit up. Because that's the whole point of the topic is rule your flesh. And how do we rule the flesh? With the spirit. How do we get this spirit? You know what I'm saying? You got to have oil in your lamp. You got to have oil in your lamp. You got to choose life. You got to choose this instruction. You got to choose to be reproved by this instruction and follow it with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. Have faith in the Most High God. Have faith in His Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, Yahushua HaMashiach, and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments diligently and teach your brothers and your sisters and your children and your seed after you to do so. That's the simple answer,
That's
right?
right.
Now, it sounds good, right? It's sweet to the taste, right? Most High told Ezekiel, son of man, eat this roll. And it was sweet to the taste, right? But it's bitter in the belly. We went over this last week because now you got to deal with the devil coming at you. See what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me just grab a couple quick precepts, man. Kodak, you got your sword in front of you, Kodak?
Of course.
I'm gonna grab a couple of the quick go-tos that I do just as a little quick reminder for those who might not have heard me run my mouth before. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna get Proverbs 6:23 real quick. If you could read that for me, I'm gonna bring it up on the screen too. All right. Let me know when you're ready, King.
God. This is
Go
the book.
ahead.
Yeah, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Right. So I always break that scripture down into bite-sized pieces, right? For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, right? And the reproofs of instructions are the way of life.
Bars.
So, right? What is the way of life? What is light? That's the law, statutes, and commandments. That's going to guide you out of the valley of death. That's going the shadow of death. That's going to guide you out of the valley of dry bones, and it's going to breathe life into you. It's going to put sinew and tissue and muscles on them bones, and we're going to stand up as an upright arm and exceeding army. If we take this life that was given to us and put it into play. You see what I'm saying? So the commandment is a lamp. It's a vessel, right? And I make the analogy of one of them old school lamps that Granny used to have, one of them kerosene lamps, right? We got to put the oil in there. You feel me? You put the oil in there and then you turn the little thing and the wick will come up, and then you let the oil soak up in the wick and you light that, right? But what if your lamp ain't got no oil and you light that wick? What's gonna happen? It's gonna burn out real quick because it ain't got no fuel. So you could walk around with the newest Bible with tabs all in it. You know what I'm saying? You could have went there and highlighted some stuff, and you got all kind of precepts all throughout the margins. But if you just hearing it and you not doing it, you ain't got no oil in your lamp. You're gonna be on fire for a second, then it's gonna be gone. It's gonna fizzle out. You got to put oil in that lamp. And that's the doing part. That's the following the laws. That's the keeping the high holy days, which is part of the law. That's fasting and praying incessantly, nonstop praying, right? Not just when it's somebody will see me praying. Yeah, come on. Go to your closet and pray. If you're dealing with something, if something is hard for you to deal with, pray on it sincerely. Repent. Ask for forgiveness, because guess what? Gluttony is going off. You see what I'm saying? Humble yourself and trust in the Most High God. Because I show my faith by my works. Number one, I have faith that the Most High God is a almighty, powerful, and terrible God that will lob your head off of your shoulders in an instant if he see forth to do so. He'll burn this whole thing down in the flash of an eye if he see forth to do so. So if he say this is what I need to do, I'm gonna have faith that that's what I absolutely need to be doing. You understand me? You feel me? Right? So look, what we got? What else we got in here? Right. So that's one of my go-tos is look, the commandment is a lamp and the law is light, and reproof of instructions are the way of life. We can go on and on about choose life. You know what I'm saying? I set before thee life and death. Choose life, right? We could talk about the valley of the shadow of death. We could talk about, the valley of dry bones. I'm just going to throw topics out there, right? And then when we have these conversations, know where I'm coming from. It's all about all of those precepts. The root of the matter is the law and the testimony, namely the law, which is this wisdom. The only thing, and Quadoc brought it out from the gate, wisdom of Solomon. The only thing that's going to get us out of this loop of poor spending habits and gluttonous behavior and non-expedient patterns of behavior is going back to these reproofs of instructions. See what I'm saying? And putting oil in that lamp. Not just hearing the law, doing the law. You feel me? Hey, some more shout outs. You know what I'm saying? We got about 5 minutes or so left. I really want to get some feedback, you know what I'm saying, from the chat and give some shout outs to some loved ones that, man, bring my heart joy every time I see them. Shalom, Tom Yum, and family. You feel me? Shalom to that powerful brother, man. Hey, and that man, I see that man raising up a family in the way that the Most High gave us the blueprint to raise, and raising up his young kids, you know what I'm saying, and coming around and being brotherly. That's a beautiful thing to see, man. Always bring joy to my heart to see my people doing what we are supposed to do. See what I'm saying? See, the powerful war dog Gamal, James 1:14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed, right? And that's a good point. That's a good scripture. Because how do we get drawn away? It's the Most High choice to draw us to his marvelous light, right? But let's see, how do we get drawn away? Let me get a scripture for that real quick that goes with that. Come on. Just come to mind. I'm gonna go to Mark 4, right? And I'm gonna start at 14. And this is important to remember, especially those of us that's new in this truth. You know what I'm saying? That's new in this truth. We gotta understand a few things. As a matter of fact, hold on. Before I bring that out, I'm gonna get another one ready, because I ain't gonna act like I'm gonna bring one precept out and shut up. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a companion for that, right? Something complimentary with that. Okay? Don't worry, I got both of them loaded in the chamber. Here we go. All right? So, first one being first, I'm gonna go with one of my favorites first, right? Break bread and build. Shalom, King. Shalom. All praises. Good to see you, King. Right? Break bread and build. It's good to see you, King. All right. So look. Here we go. I'm going to bring it out. It's the book of Sirach. Right? Speaking of wisdom. Sirach. Ecclesiasticus. Right? In the Greek. Sirach, named after the son of Sirach. Right? Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Okay? That's first and foremost, you got to be prepared. You got to be spiritually prepared. And we can go to Ephesians. Brother touched on Ephesians earlier, I believe, 5:18, right? Quadoc? We touched on Ephesians 5:18.
Khan, yeah.
Khan. I'm gonna bring that. Just reminded me something through the Spirit. I'm gonna bring something out that goes along with this, right? Is look, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, right? Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. I mean, don't trip when it go bad. You got to already know that it's coming, right? That's like being at the beach and you got your back to the water, right? And you don't know that big wave came in out of nowhere and knocked the breath out of you and drag you up the sand, right? But it's sometimes if you're out there in the water and you see it coming, you prepared for it, right? It's not like it ain't going to shake you and move you a little bit, but maybe you might be able to dive up under there. Maybe you might be able to hop over it. Or maybe you might get hit square with it, but you was braced for it. See what I'm saying? It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Right? He that endure, the same shall be saved. Give up everything in this world and follow Christ, and you're gonna have 100-fold increase in the end times. You got to have faith in that. You got to know that. You got to be ready to endure this walk. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. You got to have the mindset of Job. Nothing can break you. Nothing can break you because your love for the Most High is utmost above any other urge, any other thought that you got. And it says, why? For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, right? And you got to know that it's written that we're going to be tempted. As soon as this truth is given to us, we're going to be tempted. You got to know that. And you got to know by whom, right? I'm going to go to Mark 4:14. The sower soweth the word. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. Right? This is what's going on. Is just like the enemy, Hashatan, went up to the Most High and said, hey man, Most High said, hey, have you considered my servant Job? He's a dedicated man, right? He's a devout man, devout servant. And Satan was like, yeah, man, hey, look, get that nigga some hard times and let's see where he at. Because that's what he banking on. He banking on your flesh to rule your spirit. Right? Job wasn't tripping. He went through it. Matter of fact, when the four winds came through the house and killed his kids, the brother rent his clothes and stripped down and got on his knees and prayed and gave glory to the Most High God. How many of y'all is spiritually equipped to do that? Right? You got to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, if a tragedy or a catastrophe swept through your town and took out everything you had, all your house, your cars, you know what I'm saying, all your possessions, all your kids, your wife, took it all out. How many of you wouldn't even say, why, Lord? How many of you will go straight to your knees, praise the Most High God, and ask him what he wants you to do next? That's where we gotta aim to be. We gotta look at our forefathers for an example from the old days and the old way, and try to set that standard, right? Not, oh man, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of this, man. Paycheck to paycheck. My nigga, come on. We in captivity, but it could be worse, right? So in order to prepare ourselves for these things, I'm gonna end it with this, right? This is the armor and the equipment, because we're in a spiritual battle. It's all spiritual. The only way to rule your flesh is through the spirit, right? And I can say, law, statute, and commandments, being diligent, this and that, whoop-de-whoop. I'm gonna give you some scripture to read, right? And it might not be easy to digest all at once, but we're gonna talk about this because this is one of my go-tos in terms of equipping yourself spiritually for this battle, right? So that we can rule our flesh. I'm gonna go to Ephesians chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse 10. And you see that the headline for this section is the armor of God, right? And Paul is writing this to the brothers at the church of Ephesus, right? It says, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the sight of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. We talked about it. He's sitting there plotting and waiting. He want to scoop up the seedlings, the little small branches, the small sprouts before they grow into a strong tree. So when you first come in this truth, when you're a babe in the truth, like most of us here, you got to be aware of this and build up your armor, right? You can't let it get you caught off guard. Never turn your back to the wave, because you know it's coming inevitably, right? Right, Quadoc? Never walk away from your post, right, Quadoc?
Khan, you're hilarious.
Verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, right? We wrestling against the rulers of darkness, and that's the congregation of the dead, those without this marvelous light, right? Verse 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, right? And having on the breastplate of righteousness. What is truth and what is righteousness? Truth is this word. It's these law, statutes, and commandments, the law and the testimony. And righteousness is the act of doing that, right? The law is our righteousness. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. The gospel of my rest, right, is directly equivalent to the gospel of the day of vengeance of my all-powerful and mighty God, when he sends his son back to reclaim his kingdom and slaughter our enemies, and then slaughter any of us that don't obey. So I want to be in that number of the saints that get their number called, you know what I'm saying, and don't have to experience that second death. Lord willing, I get to see that in my lifetime. And if it's not meant for me to see it in my lifetime, I want to be at rest and be among the saints. That is the saints of the Most High, that's risen from the dead, to join that army of saints when he returns. You see what I'm saying? The gospel of peace, right? That's my rest, is the day of vengeance, right? Verse 16, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all fiery darts of the wicked, right? The shield of faith. Because I got faith, I'm shielded from these darts that the devil is trying to throw at me. Oh, man, you know, you're going to hear that from your friends, your family, your loved ones first, right? And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, right? I'm going to let it sit right there. But matter of fact, 18, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplications for all saints, right? So look, I'm praying nonstop, incessantly, right? Excessively, whatever terminology work for you, to let you know it's a constant thing, because it's a constant battle, right? Sometimes I pray just in my la'ab. I don't even vocalize it. Sometimes I go in my closet, in my room, in my private dwelling, face the east, get on my knees, and pray. Abanah Shabashamaya. You know what I'm saying? Kwadashayashim Kaya How. You know what I'm saying? Lord help me, Babu Kusha. Hey, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's a quick prayer in traffic. Lord help that brother. I see that brother over there yelling at the sky, howling at the sky like a wolf in the middle of the day. I'll pray for him. You feel me? So, you know, that's what's up with it. We got to rule our flesh. The only way we do that is through the Spirit, through the Spirit of Most High God. And the only way we do that is put that oil in our lamps. You know what I'm saying? You put the oil in the lamp by being a doer of the law, not just a hearer. And you spread that. You don't put your candle under the bed. You put it out there for the world to see. Right? And with that, Akim and Aqua, unless we got any other, you know what I'm saying, any other questions, comments, concerns, we're gonna wrap this thing up. I'm gonna let Quadoc get the last word, because the Spirit, through the Spirit, I just decided to run my mouth a little bit. I was gonna try to be quiet, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. I just felt like I needed to, you know what I'm saying, say that little bit of piece I just said, right? Lord willing, you know what I'm saying, y'all found some edification or some, you know what I'm saying, understanding based on what I said. And look, once again, we love you. We thank you. Beautiful, beautiful thing. I see more and more people in here on a regular. Shalom, break bread and build. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, as always, brother Tamayim and family, right? All praises. I see a gang of soldiers in here. I see prospects in here. I see brothers from other camps. You know what I'm saying? All praises, right? And look, right now, I'm gonna get the other brothers a chance to get a little closing statements, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Apayak, you got any final points?
No, I just was jumping back on the StreamYard so we could chop it up after the show. Good class. Y'all did y'all stuff. You already know.
The water king. And the water for your help, man. Apayak goes through and he catalogs all of the old episodes, man. So you know what I'm saying? All praises to that brother, man. It's a team effort. We lean on each other, right? Quadoc, you got the last word, King.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? Thank everybody for tuning in. Hope everybody was edified. You know, if you can, like, share, subscribe. You know, we always like to tell brothers, especially lessons like these, for all lessons, but especially lessons like these, you know, share it with a brother, because at the end of the day, you know, we're in the spiritual warfare, and the things that we most definitely have to have rule over is our spirits. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, make sure y'all share the video. Make sure you hearken to the points that was made and be able to relay it and teach it to your people, man. You know what I'm saying? That's about it.
All praises. Hey, take us out, King.
And with that, I want to give Kohala Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.
Shalom, Akim, Akwa, Mashpaka, Habatam, Shalom.